standard operating environments, or an SOE. Very, very good to have these. So essentially what this is if you don't know, so if you come from a tech background, you maybe have experienced what an SOE is, but it's a standard environment or standard operating environment on steps on how to build something, how to build a server, how to build a desktop, how to build a network switch, and perhaps some accompanying software that will allow you to create images, software packages to then deploy onto computers to build them to this SOE standard. Okay, so it's more than just having a checklist of this is how I want to build something, but it's also getting the systems in place to be able to deploy that. So if we use an example, let's say we need to build a server. You've got a Windows server that you need to build. Well, how are you going to build this server? We want to make sure that all of our servers are following a standard environment practice, right? They're all standardized. We don't want one server being built with some particular flavor of Windows with different software to this server. Of course, sometimes servers need to be built differently, but I'm saying that the core foundation framework around a server build should remain consistent. What is the operating system? Well, are we going to install Windows Server 2019? And that is the flavor that we're going to install. Is it going to be a Linux CentOS? Well, that is the flavor, all right? And then everything that comes along with that. The server name should have a standard naming convention. The CPU and RAM and hard drive space should be standardized. Of course, different sorts of servers will have additional RAM, additional CPU, additional hard drive space, but it should all be built from a standard. This is what we're going to build, okay? And then everything else that comes along with that, okay? So that's servers. A laptop may be built. A laptop, you're going to have a specific vendor, specific model of laptop that perhaps you want to be building, because for the IT techs, you want to make it as easy as possible for them to be able to deploy laptops. Here's your standard laptop that you're going to build. And then here is the standard software that we're going to install onto this, the configuration, binding it to Active Directory, setting it up on the network, doing all of that. So the checklist is great to outline exactly what is going to be built and how it's going to be configured, but then some software, lots of software vendors out there that help you build an image, an SOE image essentially, an image that contains the operating system, that contains some packaged software, or perhaps an image that just points the laptop out to the network to go and do everything. But essentially, you pull a laptop out of the box, you turn it on, it then maybe goes out to the network and goes, hey, network, I need to be built. It goes out to the network, it finds some sort of a server or system, or the IT team inserts a USB stick or a CD drive, whatever it may be. CDs, do we really have those anymore? And then it starts building that computer based on an SOE. It builds it with Windows 10. It goes and deploys it with this particular configuration. It puts in the product key. It activates it on the internet. It then goes and binds it to Active Directory. It then goes and installs, maybe goes and looks for some software that needs to install. It installs the software, configures the software, and it gets it ready so that when a staff member needs a new computer, it's ready to go. All you have to do is maybe just get that staff member to log in, create a profile, and that's it, right? So it's super, super easy to do. But having an SOE makes your life easier as an IT manager, but also makes your tech's life easier. Because imagine you have to go and deploy 10 new systems. You do these from scratch. You could take 2, 3, 4, 5 hours to build one computer to a specific spec. Wouldn't it be easier if you have some software built up with an SOE, those 10 computers are all connected to the network, turn them on, bam, they deploy in a number of minutes, maybe a little bit longer, let's say an hour maximum for all of them. So much easier, so much cleaner, and you ensure that you have a standard environment. Now, the great thing about this is that the IT techs that you look after, or even you, have a standard setup of computers out on your network. They're all the same. They're all built the same software, the same hardware, the same versions of software. It's all the same. Makes it very, very easy for you as an admin, for you as an IT manager. So there you go, the standard operating environment.